Well, welcome back to the Secret Underground Lair. Got a little project today, a little different than others. We're going to take this drawer that's remnant of a project from long ago, and we're going to convert this into a little box 10 by 10 inches deep, about 13 inches wide, and about 5 inches tall. That'll have a drawer in it. So just kind of little shelf slash box, mini cabinet you might call it. And we're going to just take this apart and use the bits out of this. So first step will be some deconstruction. That is today's adventure. I'm going to start this process with some deconstruction. Just going to try these, the back and the sides are held with glue and some pin nails. So I'm just going to give this a little tap, see if I can break the glue joint here and maybe get the pin nails apart. If these two sides splay apart, then I can get the back off, pull out the bottom, because that should just be sitting in there loosely, it shouldn't be glued. And then pull off the sides from the front. That broke apart nicely. Let's do the other side. Those weren't exactly pin nails, those were spiral finishing. Oh, how about that? Just tap those nails out. Nice drawer bottoms. That's a good piece of 1/4 inch MDF. Can use that. And I'm expecting now the front. Oh. No, it was just in a slot, so just a glue joint. A little surprised about that. And to get, there is some MDF in the middle here, which I think I would like to get. But the only way I'm going to get that out of there, I believe, is to cut this off. You can see how that sandwich is made. There's some pine with some MDF stuck in there. So in theory, that is not glued in and should come out. But I might need to give it a little persuasion. Persuaded a lot easier than I thought it would. there is a piece of MDF. A little bit of cleanup on that. Now have our raw material, at least most of it, to make our little cabinet. So here's a little quick sketch of the cabinet that we're going to be building. It is just a little tiny cabinet. As you can see, it's 10 inches deep, 13 inches from side to side, and 5 inches top to bottom. And this will be a drawer that'll slide in and out. So using the material on hand, I have a piece of 1/2 inch plywood, just a scrap left over from something. This is nice plywood though, it's good on both sides. This is going to be used for the top of the cabinet. Another little remnant of that will be used for the face of the drawer. I'm going to use this piece that we pulled from that drawer assembly. This will be the bottom of the cabinet. The piece that came out of the drawer front that we just pulled apart, this will become the base of the drawer. These guys are going to be the sides of the cabinet. And out of the bits left over from these pieces, so part of this will be the face of the drawer, this will be the back of the drawer, and then the bits that we cut off this piece are going to be the sides of the drawer. So, with all that said, let me start by cutting up the sides, top, and bottom of the cabinet. Now, a little interesting thing I'm going to experiment with here is the drawer piece that we cut apart has a little dado in it. You can see there. That was used to hold the drawer bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be sanding this one edge of this top edge of that a little bit, and I'm going to be sanding the MDF that we use for the drawer bottom, and I'm going to use that as the drawer slide. So yeah, we'll see how that works. Again, this is a very lightweight cabinet, very lightweight drawer. There's not going to be a lot of nothing heavy in it, it doesn't need to have a really sophisticated drawer slide. So we'll see how that works. A little bit of wax might make it work really well. So 5 inches in height, less a 1/4 inch for the bottom MDF, the bottom piece, and 7/16 for the top, leaves us with a 4 5/16 inch sidewall. So I'm going to cut these 3 pieces at 4 5/16. Okay, I'm going to cut the top now, 10 inches, and it'll be 13 long, but we'll start with the 10-inch width. Okay, there's the top, bottom, and 2 sides. I'm going to make the back. The back is going to be the 13-inch length less 7/16 times 2, which is 7/8. So I'll just set the fence up for that and make that cut. Now you've noticed that I'm not doing any fancy joinery on this piece. This is just a kind of a quick cabinet. So it's just going to be butt joints glued and nailed. Those pieces are cut to the right size. I always like to See that happen? And then the bottom will sit on, of course, like that. That's the basic box. I'll put a drawer in there. Oh, I did one thing wrong. I did. What I want to have happening is I want the drawer front to sit underneath the lip here. So I need to cut the sides and the bottom 7/16 of an inch. In fact, I'm going to make it 1/2 inch shorter. That way the drawer can slip in underneath. Okay, and that is our basic box. I'll go over and take a look at the drawer. Okay, I'm now going to cut the drawer face, so it's going to be 13 by 4.5, and then we're going to work on the sides of the drawer out of this piece. So that's our drawer face cut. Now I want to get the sides and the back. I have this piece of material which is about 15 inches long, 14 inches long. So I'm just going to cut it into 3 equal strips. It's 9.5 inches, so I'm going to cut them at 3 inches wide. Now the idea behind this drawer is that we'll get these, of course, get them cut to length and everything, but the sides of the drawer are going to be inset just a little bit from the back. Actually, the back is going to be fine. You're going to inset from the bottom, so the bottom of the drawer is going to overhang the sides and the back by about 1/8 of an inch, probably 1/4 of an inch. That'll give me a little bit of clearance between the side of the drawer and the side of the cabinet. And it is this part of the drawer that will act as the runner going down that dado of the drawer cabinet itself. And about 1/8 of an inch overhang on the back that will latch into the back dado of the cabinet. So the bottom really becomes the carrier of the drawer. So I've calculated the back of the drawer should be 11 inches long. Then there's going to be 2 pieces 7/16 of an inch on either side of that, and that'll fit just snugly inside the drawer box with a little bit of clearance, about 1/8 of an inch, or a little less than 1/8 of an inch on either side. So I'm going to cut this piece and we'll do a test fit. I'll put a 1/4 inch spacer here so that when I bring this up past the blade, I'm not going to be binding this piece between the blade and the fence. I'm going to put in drawer sides. And the drawer back. And yes, we have just the right amount of clearance. I'm going to be very happy with that. Okay, so now we can make our drawer bottom. And I'm just debating whether I want to put a little bit of a dado on the front side here. And I don't think I will put a dado on there. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little 1/4 inch strip on the bottom of this to support this. If I put a dado on here, then I wind up with a gap on the front of the drawer here that you could see from the side. So I would like to avoid that. So instead I'll put a little, as I said, I'll put a little, glue a little strip on there that will support the front bottom of the drawer. So I'm going to cut this to be 9 1/8 inches wide. Now here's where I want to be a little careful, is going the width, because I do want to make sure that I latch into the side of the box 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to bring the pieces over again and we'll just double check that measurement. So it's purchase in there is about 3/16 of an inch, and I'm going to allow 1/8. So this is 12 1/8. I want that to be 12 3/8. So 12 3/8 it is. Okay, drawer face, drawer sides, back, drawer bottom. Got our cabinet top, cabinet bottom, cabinet sides, cabinet back. We're ready to do a little bit of assembly. So I'm going to start by assembling the cabinet body. And the cabinet drawer will take a little more finesse, I think, as we get that unit together. Sliding in and out, we're catching on the back. We are going to require a little bit of wax, I think, just to make it a little bit better, but that sliding mechanism is going to work. We'll just take a little bit of sand just a little bit off this to make that a bit of a taper. That might help a little bit. So I don't know if you can see that. Just took a little bit off that corner. Just a little bit off that corner. With the sides on the drawer, I think that'll help a lot too. Okay, that's good. I'm now comfortable to put the top on. Okay, there is our basic box. So we'll finish off the drawer after a bite of lunch. Okay, ready to start the assembly of the drawer. I'm going to start with the kind of the same approach I took with the cabinet portion. We'll attach the two sides to the back, then we'll attach the bottom, and we'll attach the front. I'm going to wind up screwing the front onto the sides with some flathead screws. That'll subsequently need to be filled in with some wood filler and sanded off. But let's start by getting this put together. Okay, I'm now going to do a test fit of sliding this drawer right into the base cabinet here. Perfect. And you can see on the side here we've got just about a 1/16 here and a little over a 1/16, almost an 1/8 there, so there we are. That's evened up a bit. So that's how it fits inside. Put a little bit of wax on that, make it slide even easier. Now we'll do the front of the drawer. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to be drilling a hole in each side and putting a screw in each side. We'll put some glue in there as well. And then on the bottom, before all this is glued obviously, I'm going to put a little strip across the bottom here to support the bottom of the drawer. And if I have this positioned the way I like it, I can now take a pencil and mark the bottom of the that face of the drawer, that's where I want that little 1/4 inch strip to be. So again, this is just a little lip that we're going to put on here. In fact, what I'll probably do is use some super glue to hold this in place, because that will set instantly, rather than try and use my little nail gun through that. So I'm just going to super glue that. So I have that where I want it. I just need to get the screw holes drilled where they should be. Going to start these screws. Now put some glue in place. I like that red screwdriver, but it's not my Klein. This is my Klein driver. Love it. Thanks, John, for that. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue here, here, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this ridge that we just put on with some super glue there. Okay, there we are. And the drawer slips in really nicely. Got a nice even space along the top. It's up pretty nicely with flush with the face and flush with the edge. So what I'm going to do now is put some filler in all the holes, sand and some of these edges. Then we'll sand the whole thing down once that's set. And we'll figure out what kind of handle or knob we want to put on there, but that's another department. that is the filling done. So we'll give that probably about an hour to set up, and come back and we'll do some sanding. Okay, ready to do a little bit of sanding. I'm going to use some 100 grit initially just to get rid of this, the rough stuff, and even up the sides, and then we'll work down to 180. I have a handle from our design department. So the handle is just going to go on about like so. And yeah, okay, on with the sanding. I know this is your favorite part. Alright, our sanding is complete, and I'm bringing up the Anaconda just to kind of clear off all the dust. Alrighty, just using a latex primer sealer, and we'll do the inside of the cabinet here, and then we'll do the bottom of the drawer, flip them over, and do the exterior portions. For the this cabinet, I'm going to do my best to kind of keep the paint out of the little drawer slide tracks that we've got. A little tricky, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, so there's our base cabinet primed. My camera's getting a little low on power, so I'm going to switch over. I'll turn it off. I'll come back when I have the drawer painted. Here, paint has set enough that I can drill the holes for the handle. So I have marked the holes, and we'll just drill through here. Okay, let's slip that in there. Put that in there. Our little case. This is actually a little cosmetic stand. So there's a cosmetic mirror that sits on top of this stand, and the drawer is designed to hold the cosmetics. So that's what we've got. That's our one-day project. So it'll probably take another coat of paint, but I'm gonna leave that to the paint department. We'll call that a build. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.